Welcome back to another episode of Whitney's World Podcast. I'm your host, Whitney Morgan Ward, and I am so thankful that you have tuned in wherever you're at on this planet. Thank you so much for tuning in to this message. This is my 54th episode. I cannot believe it. I feel so excited and blessed to be here. I want to let you guys know that I finally hit an insane milestone when it comes to podcasting. Last week was my 1-year anniversary on Friday of having my podcast for 1 year, and I've released every single Wednesday since last June 28th. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for your love and support. You guys have no idea what it means to me, and everyone that reaches out to me that tells me you're listening, you love it, you've learned something, those things, those messages, the phone calls I get, that's why I'm doing this. Whitney's World is here to empower you to thrive. And what's cool about that is it's also continuing to empower me to thrive. So super exciting. I'm super blessed, and I'm just so thankful. Please, guys, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Whitney's World Podcast. You do have to type the podcast in there for it to pull up to my channel, but please like and subscribe, comment on my videos, connect with me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, on Facebook, as well as leave me 5 stars on Spotify or a review on Apple Podcast. It really helps the message get out. My podcast is growing every single week. I am attracting new people that are listening, and I am just so thankful. So your guys' support and all that you can do to help me literally just makes my heart so happy. So this week, we are going to talk about one thing, and that is stop telling yourself that you do not know, because you do know. You know a lot more than you think. You know so much. Your internal guiding system, your highest self, is always leading you and guiding you. And you know so much more than you have any idea that you do. And so I really want to talk about that today, because when it comes to the knowing state, like when you actually know something and when you feel like you don't know something, there is a bit of a problem there, because we all want to know. We all want to have this feeling inside that like we know that we know that we know. And when we continually tell ourselves that we don't know the answer, we don't know what to do, we don't know where to go, we don't know anything. When we say that, it hinders us so much, because you do know. Sometimes you might say you don't know because you don't want to do the thing that you should do. So you just tell yourself that you don't know. But in reality, you do know. You know what you should be doing. You know what you should not be doing. And that is the truth. So stop telling yourself that you don't know, because you are only hindering yourself, and you do know what to do. So I don't want you to, at the end of your life, be on your deathbed and be like, I wish that I would have done what was calling me. I wish that I would have focused on the things in my life that actually made me feel better. I don't want you to get to the end of your life and look back and be like, I wasted it. I didn't do what called me. I didn't do what felt good to me. I didn't do what made me happy. I didn't do the things that I should have done. And that's where I'm at. That's like my life. That's what I'm trying so hard to focus on, personally, professionally, in business. I'm really trying to push forward and make sure that at the end of my life, or even in 2 years, that I don't look back and be like, dang, I wish I would have done that. And I do feel like so many of us live our lives trapped in our own minds based off of the judgment of other people. Like, we're so worried about what other people think, what other people say, how other people talk about us. Like, we're so wrapped up in our own minds with the judgment of others that we trap ourselves. And that is what I really want to, like, not have us do in this life. Like, we shouldn't be trapped. We should be following our own vibe. We should be finding our tribe. We should be doing things that light us up, that make us feel so good inside, that give us joy and pleasure and purpose in this life. And so I have noticed that in my life, there are times where I feel like I need to do something, or I feel like I need to say something, and I don't do it because I tell myself, like, I don't know. And I actually used to have an ex, and he, like, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was not supposed to be with him. But I remember, like, even still to this day, I remember having conversations with people and being like, I don't know what to do. And I definitely knew what to do. I should have cut him off. I should have said bye-bye, and I should have let him go. But I didn't do any of that. I just kept telling myself, I don't know what to do. And I trapped myself based off of the judgment of other people. What are people going to think? What is he going to think? So I literally would trap myself in my own mind because I was so worried about him. I was so worried about what other people would think of us breaking up that I constantly kept telling myself, I don't know what to do. And in reality, like, I did know what to do. So that is not what I want for you. I do not want you to be so wrapped up in your own mind, telling yourself constantly that you don't know what to do, so you don't make any decisions. You just stay the same. Like, we are not here to stay the same. We are here to feel something and to move on. It's insane to me that we have this idea that we have to stay stuck and trapped and not move on. I think that is absolutely insanity. And I know that these things are harder said than done. Believe me, I practice what I preach. Like, as I tell you guys and I speak what I'm speaking, like, I'm learning how to do these things too. These are all epiphanies, downloads that I'm getting so that I can better myself, better my life, and be more evolved. And so I can transcend my life. So I'm also still in a place where I'm always trying to just make decisions. Like, I don't like living in this space of I don't know what to do. Like, I don't like that. That keeps you stuck. It keeps you small. It keeps you confused. It keeps you in a low vibration. And so, when I hear people say, I just can't make decisions, I feel bad. Like, you should be able to make decisions, maybe not like right away, but like decide, like pick something, choose something, and just do it. And if it's not the right decision, change your decision later. But don't just not make decisions because you are programmed and you've programmed yourself to literally say that you don't know how to make decisions and you're indecisive. No, be decisive. Decide what you want to do. It's your life. No one else is going to run your life. But if you continually sit in this place of I don't know what to do, you are not moving forward. You are not evolving. You are not growing. There is no growth happening because you are stuck. So we need to move beyond that thought. You do know what to do. The answer is always inside of you. Get quiet and ask yourself, like, what should I do in this situation? And then just do it. Literally do it. Just make the decision and move on. And last week in my podcast, I was talking about the art of detachment. And this is actually an art. Like, detaching and not being attached to so much is actually an art. And this is where, this is kind of like part 2 of that, because when you can detach from things, then you can sit in a place and say, well, I don't know what to do, but I feel like I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to decide to do that and move forward. And now you've detached from this idea of I don't know what to do, and you've detached from being trapped and stuck. So it kind of like all works together. And I think that is just so powerful. And I think that that is so beautiful when we can get to that place. You are a spiritual being, literally. And if you don't believe that, then you're not listening to this podcast. But if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to know that you are a spiritual being and you are meant to evolve and transcend your life. That is what we are here to do. Our soul is meant to grow, evolve, change. We should always have a growth mindset. I was actually talking to someone this weekend about growth mindset, and there are so many people in this world that don't have a growth mindset, and those are the people that are trapped in this idea of I don't know what to do. So they just don't do anything. They just stay the same. And for me, I want you to constantly push forward. Like, keep going. Thrive in life. That is why we're here. We are meant to live abundant, beautiful lives where we are growing, growth is happening, and we are evolving on this planet in our minds, in our spirits, and our souls. When I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend, we were talking about spirituality, growth mindset, all of these things. And he brought up this beautiful point to me. And I've actually never even I've thought of it, but not the way that he said it. And what he said was, he's like, Whitney, nature doesn't lie. And nature is always telling us what's going on and how this universe works. And that is so true. And if you don't believe me, then just take a look around. There is abundance everywhere growing from the earth for us. We eat it, we see it, like it's there. Fruit grows from trees. It's everything around us is beautiful. The sunset, the sunrise, the beach, the mountains, nature, everything is so beautiful. Nature doesn't lie. Nature is always evolving and growing. And nature is, it's always expanding. It doesn't lie. It's always trying to show us keys to this place. And it's our responsibility to become aware and to look out and be like, oh, well, yeah, maybe nature is trying to tell us something. And it is. And if you live somewhere where it's cold, Colorado, North Dakota, wherever that is, you will see that nature always has a cycle of death and rebirth. It's always dying in the seasons and coming back to life in the season. And I think that that is such a powerful picture that even we are given, like yearly. This is a yearly process that we are meant to continuously die and be reborn. We are continuously meant to have this process where we're growing and changing and evolving. And I really believe that we are shown these things outside because it's also inside of us. And nature is trying to lead us and guide us to where we're meant to be. And so if nature is constantly, yearly, dying and growing again, that means that we should be changing a lot more than we think we should. And, for me personally, like where I was last year and where I am now is completely different. I am a completely different version of myself. And I did have to let the old me die. I did have to let that old version of Whitney fall away. I've talked about how I've had to cut people out of my life. I've talked about friendships in my life ending. I've talked about, me giving up substances and breaking those addictions and habits. I had to evolve and transcend. I had to make some serious life choices for death and rebirth to happen. And though those times are so hard and close to my heart sometimes, it is necessary to grow, to move forward, to move on. And it's only for your highest self to come through. But again, so many people are so trapped in their own minds of, I don't know if I should let that person go. I don't know if I should start this new business. I don't know if I should go to that place. I don't know if I should break up with this guy or girl. Like, we end up, again, trapping ourselves in this place of uncertainty, but really it's out of fear. Because if you're having this feeling of, should I let this person go? Should I break up? Should I start the business? You probably should do the thing that you're thinking about. You're probably thinking about it for a reason. But you not just deciding, you know what? I'm just going to cut that out of my life. You not deciding to do it, you're staying stagnant. And to get to where you need to go, you need to make some life choices and you have to change. And those choices sometimes are extremely hard and heartbreaking, but you will get over it. You will look back and be like, I'm glad I did it then and I didn't keep holding on. Because when we hold on to things that are no longer meant for us, they suffocate. And we don't want to suffocate things. We want to let things go. And we want to be able to move through the world like we need to move without having all of these things that we're attached to and holding on to, because then we are a puppet. We are literally a puppet. We are holding on to all this stuff and we cannot break free to move forward. It's all that stuff's holding us back. I heard today this quote that blew my mind, and it says, you must eliminate in order to evolve. You must eliminate in order to evolve. And for me specifically, recently, this has happened to me. Today is 8 weeks that I haven't drank alcohol. And I just want to let you guys know that's like a big deal for me, because to be honest, I was probably drinking every day. And, sometimes I would have one drink a day, but I was still drinking probably daily. And I got to a point in my life where I knew that I was going to have to stop drinking. I knew that it was going to come. I just had this like knowing inside. And so instead of being like, oh, I don't know. I was doing that for a while. I'm like, I don't know when. This is literally what I'd say. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I do know that I'm going to be called to stop drinking. Like, I know that soon I'm going to have to stop drinking. And I already was preparing my heart for it. I never thought that I could actually do it. I literally was actually in a place where it was really hard for me to even think about not drinking. Like, I was like, I don't even know how that's going to work. I don't know what that's going to look like. Like, who am I? And that was like my turning point. Was I wanted to know who I am without drinking. And I could tell you guys right now that I love this version of myself so much more. Like, I am so much more grounded. I am so much more in tune with myself. I am so much happier. And it got to the point where when I decided, like in May, okay, I'm going to lay this down. Like, after my 31st birthday, I'm going to quit drinking for a while. I did that because I would drink and I would wake up in the morning and I would literally start spiraling and I would just have the worst thoughts. I would think to myself, like, I shouldn't have done that. And then I started filling myself with like all of this regret. And one thing I personally hate is regret. I really don't like regretting things. Obviously, that's part of human nature. So it is what it is. But like, there are times in my life where I just really don't like regretting things. I try really hard to live authentically so that I don't regret in my life. But I would wake up and I would just be so down on myself. I would feel like crap. I then would look like it. I couldn't work out. I couldn't exercise. Like, I felt like my vibration was so low. And I'm a very high energy, high vibe woman. Like, that's who I am. I am super high energy. Like, I'm an energizer bunny out here in these streets. And when I would drink and I would start to spiral, I realized that I was making decisions that were affecting my peace and my happiness and my vibes. And I'm like such a vibe person. Like, I'm all about vibes. I'm all about how I feel, my emotions, how other people feel. Like, that stuff is very important to me. And when I started to really like wake up, and then I would wake up hungover or whatever, feeling like trash, that's when I was really like, okay, I'm going to have to stop doing this because this is affecting me negatively. And I'm really trying to level up my life. I'm really trying to break through this glass ceiling. And I'm really trying to raise my vibration even higher naturally. And so when I realized that drinking was affecting my vibration negatively, that's when I was like, okay, I need to know who I am without this, because with it, I'm not the best version. So without it, I've got to be a better version of myself. And that's exactly what happened. I am so much happier. Like, I don't even care to drink. It's crazy. It's like a paradigm shift. And I think too, when you start to like do research on how bad alcohol actually is for you and for your brain and how much it ages you, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, not only does it make me feel toxic, but it makes me feel lower and I'm trying to live my best life. So once you start to really go down the rabbit hole of what actually alcohol is, it's a lot easier to be like, I'm good. I don't need that. I would rather be healthier, feel better, and look better than just continue to drink my life away and wake up spiraling, regretting, and being hard on myself because I basically put toxins in my body all night. So, if you are in a place where you're thinking about not drinking, or you are feeling that calling on your life, maybe it's because you want to feel better. Maybe it's because you want to be a better manifester and you realize that to manifest your best life, you have to have the highest vibration possible. Maybe you want to get pregnant. Maybe you want to break a generational curse in your life and your family lineage, and you're the one that's going to have to do it. Like, you're probably being called to this, and maybe you're telling yourself, I don't know what to do. This is my best advice for you. First of all, send me a DM because I would love to like chat with you, know your goals, and then just give you my like real one-on-one experience. So if this is something you feel called to, send me a DM. I would love to connect. But if this is something that you really feel like is your calling, but you are like in your mind just continuing to play that tape of I don't know what to do because you can't imagine your life not doing it. You do know what to do. and you're a lot stronger than you think. And you can do it. If you feel that pull, just try it. Just do it for 30 days, 60 days. Like my goal was July 4th, and today's July 1st, and I am absolutely not drinking on July 4th. Like, I don't even want it. I don't even want to feel like that. And that is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I just want to see how long I can go. If I can get to like the 9-month mark, I'll be really proud of myself. I'm already at 2 months, so it's 7 months left. I can do it. So join me on the journey, guys. I would love for you to do that. When it comes to you constantly tell yourself that you don't know and that you can't make up your mind on something that you really need to make up your mind, there are certain things happening to you that you don't want to happen. When you tell yourself that you don't know something, you are automatically forming limiting beliefs in your life. Now, we already have way too many limiting beliefs. We are programmed with limiting beliefs. And so when you are facing a situation in your life, whatever that is, that you need to make a decision and you are telling yourself that you don't know what to do, you are literally hindering your confidence and you're willing to learn or engage with the topic, and you're creating limiting beliefs around that. So you're basically saying, like, I don't know if I should eat that cookie, that chocolate chip cookie. I don't know. Now your mind's like, okay, I don't know because I don't want to get fat. I had too much sugar, or I'm not trying to eat sugar. And your mind is spiraling with negativity. And instead you just be like, no, I don't want that chocolate chip cookie. I know that I don't want it. I know that because it makes me feel this way, and I don't want to feel that way. So I know I don't want it. And when you start to just tell yourself that you don't know something, you are literally limiting yourself and putting in beliefs in your mind that you don't know. And you are taking your power away. When you tell yourself in your mind that you don't know what to do, you are reducing your thinking engagement. So you are literally telling yourself that you're no longer going to think about getting the answer because you stop trying to find the answer, because you trap yourself. You're like, I don't know what to do. And then you just stay there instead of like thinking through it. Like, why do I not know what I want to do in this situation? Is it serving my highest and best self? Yes or no? And make that decision off that. Don't just say, I don't know what to do, and then not do anything. You're reducing thinking about what the decision is that you need to make. So don't do that. If you need to make a decision, you have two choices. Is it for your highest and best self or not? If you still don't know, the only other advice that I can give you is to sit down, turn everything off, and meditate. Close your eyes, take some breaths, and feel into your body. Your body will tell you yes or no. Like, our body is an instrument. It's always speaking to us. Our higher self, the divine source inside of us, is always telling you what you need to know. So if you really are in a situation where you don't know what to do, the one thing that you can do is get quiet, get alone, and seriously sit with yourself and ask yourself, give me the answer. What am I supposed to do? And it will come. And then trust that, lean into that, move forward. And if you decide a week, a month, a year later, actually that wasn't the right decision, you can go back. But don't just stay stuck. Make a decision and move forward in your life. When you tell yourself that you don't know, that's such an impact on your motivation. It stops you. So, for instance, when I started my podcast, I didn't start it for a long time because I was so wrapped up in my mind and I was like, I don't know what to do. And instead of me just doing it and learning, I just stopped. And the motivation for the podcast really wasn't able to move forward because I wasn't actually doing what I was feeling called to do. And so because I sat in that place of, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, I don't know what this looks like, the motivation was hindered. So again, don't tell yourself, I don't know what to do. You do know. You absolutely know. And if you just keep focusing to get the answer you need, you will get the answer. It is written that when you seek, you find, and when you knock, the doors are open. So if you need an answer on something, ask for signs. Ask. And it is given. And I know I touched on this already, but again, when you tell yourself that you don't know what to do, you lower your vibration because you are sitting stagnant in a place that has zero movement. The ocean is always moving. The air, the wind, everything's always moving. We are in an energy-based universe. Everything is moving. But when we sit in a place where I don't know what to do, we're not moving for the good or the bad. So make a decision. And again, if it ends up being the wrong decision later on down the line, change your decision again. But at least you're moving. I just hate seeing people stuck and not doing anything because they don't know. Like, just try. And then you'll figure out if you know or not. But you have to at least try. You have to at least move forward in one direction or the other. So don't lower your vibration by telling yourself, I don't know what to do, therefore I'm not going to move. The knowing state, there is a place in your soul, in your body, that knows exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And that is in all of us. We do have this knowing state. And when you can literally learn to tap into that knowing state, like, I know that this is going to happen. It's like beyond belief, you know, that is so powerful. But the not knowing takes all your power away. But the knowing is where the power is. So to get from the unknown, stuck, stagnant place to the knowing where you're flowing and you're vibrating high, you have to trust yourself with the answers that come. And also, when this happens to you, let's say you're going to break up with someone, because I know that relationships are like everything we crave in life, but they're also like the hardest thing to deal with. When you are breaking up with someone because you know that's what you need to do, you're no longer telling yourself, I don't know, just to stay stuck. You're like, no, this isn't it. I know it's going to suck and it's going to hurt. And it's okay to be sad. Like, I think that we live in a time where we're literally taught that you can't be sad. And, you know, when you're a kid, like, we're told, like, stop crying. That is just not healthy for us at all. Like, we need to let our emotions out. So if you are in this place where maybe you're going to break up with someone because you know deep down that that's what you need to do, it's okay to be sad and it's okay to cry. And as soon as you do and you let those emotions out, the better it will be. The quicker you will heal, the faster you will be able to move on. But the longer that you stay in an unknown state and you sit there and you don't have any movement, you're going to feel that pain later, because if you're meant to do something, it's going to happen now or later. So you might as well rip the Band-Aid off, get it over now, and move forward. Transcend through whatever you need to transcend through, and just get on with it, because you do know what you need to do. There are many people out there that are waiting for this sign and this something crazy to happen to them to give them this answer, but you already know. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, and your answers will come to you if you ask. So if you need guidance, ask. But trust yourself. And when you get that answer of what to do, just believe. Just have faith. Trust in yourself. Because to where you want to go and to get to where you need to be, you have to trust yourself. No one else is going to carry you. They're trying to carry themselves. So whatever and whoever this message is for, this is like popped into my head. It was like, this is what you're talking on. Stop telling yourself you don't know. Hit that. I'm like, okay, got it. Because I've been in that place many, many, many times. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But I did know. I just didn't want to do the right thing. I didn't want to let go. I didn't want to detach. And so it was easier for me. It's not easier, but in my head, I'm like, it's easier for me to just say, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm just going to stay in this low place, staying stagnant, not moving either way, because I didn't want to face my reality that I did need to do that thing that I didn't want to do. And then the last thing is to receive the answers. Choose the thing that you feel the most called to. So if you're trying to make up a decision, maybe should I book the trip or not? Should I go on the trip or not? Just feel yes or no. Receive the feeling and then choose the one that you feel the most called to. And what's super powerful about this is that trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. And when you start to do this, again, if you make the wrong decision, you can always change and make a different decision later. But if you do choose the right thing, you will start to trust yourself more. And then you'll get out of this rut of, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. You'll start breaking that, because you will see that when you do start to trust what feels better and what you feel most called to, it will start to unlock. You'll unlock yourself, and then it'll be easier and more fulfilling to start making decisions, because you are realizing that you can trust yourself. You are seeing the magic in your life unfold. You are understanding that when you make these decisions, you are actually moving forward. And yes, it may hurt in the moment, but it doesn't hurt forever. And you can grow and you can move through these things. And also, when you hold on to things that you really need to let go of, you are blocking yourself from what's meant to actually come through. Because if all of your attention is on this thing that you need to let go, but you're not, you can't see what's over here, because all your attention is here. So just trust yourself and make decisions that feel the most authentic and aligned with you and your highest self and your calling. And again, as you do this and as you do these things, your life will start to unfold, and you'll be like, I'm so glad I did that. And I'm so glad that I didn't wait longer. I do know what to do. And that is power. That is beauty. And that is how you evolve and elevate your life right here, right now, today. So stop telling yourself that you don't know, because you know. I love you guys very much. That is the message for today of Whitney's World podcast. I hope that this taught you something. I hope that you can move into your life making more decisions, just choosing something that feels aligned and real to you. And I hope that you have an amazing week. Please connect with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if this message resonated with you and you've been in this place. I would love to hear from you. Comment. I would love to chat, connect, and be in your world. So thanks for being a part of Whitney's world. I love you guys very much. Have an amazing week. And as always, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's go.